Right now, joining us live on the couch is Jason Mercer with TREB. We've got some new numbers out today. The latest numbers from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board finds that there was an uptick in home sales to start off 2024. And as the market begins to tighten, prices are expected to be back on the rise into the spring market. So to help break down these latest numbers, we're joined by Jason Mercer, Chief Market Analyst at TREB. Jason, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So the data is in, and I guess it should come as no real big surprise, but January 2024, definitely home sales picked up compared to the same time last year. So the question is, by how much? And why did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at sales this past January in comparison to what we saw at the beginning of 2023, sales were up by about a third over that period of time. And you know, we're still below the longer term average. And obviously, you know, a lot of households are still coming to terms with higher borrowing costs and what have you. But that being said, you know, I think we're seeing more people who had initially moved to the sidelines becoming, you know, more confident in moving back into the marketplace. Some of that could have to do with they've just become more in tune with the current situation in terms of high borrowing costs and the affordability pressures, but also looking forward to perhaps lower borrowing costs as we move through 2024 and into 2025.
And obviously, you know, later this year when we expect the central bank to kind of lower the key interest rate for mortgage holders, you expect those sales to kind of pick up again, right?
Yeah, I think certainly, you know, as we move into the second half of 2024 and even more so into 2025, we are going to see borrowing costs, you know, trend lower, and that'll be a key factor from an affordability perspective to see some people move back into the market, because you know our polling has shown over the last couple of years is that you know a lot of people have every intention on purchasing a home, but they just need some relief on that borrowing cost front, and it looks like we'll start seeing that in the second half of this year.
But of course, you know, the pressing issue has always been about demand and supply, and we're still not getting that much supply out there as quickly as possible. We know that the government's trying to step up affordable housing, and just it's hard to find a home, especially here in the GTA. So how do you see that kind of influencing, you know, people's purchasing power?
It's a very good point, because if you think about the supply issue, it's still there.
Yeah.
But it was masked to a certain degree over the last couple of years because, you know, sales were off by quite a bit because of higher borrowing costs. But as we start to see people move back into the market in 2024 and 2025, they're going to be up against that same constrained supply. And so you're going to see more competition between buyers, and you'll eventually start to see an uptick in the average selling price. And so, you know, certainly credit where credit's due. We've seen good initiatives come online on the part of all three levels of government over the past, say, 2 to 3 years in terms of bringing on more supply. But we need to see those turn into, you know, tangible evidence of more homes, more shovels in the ground. And so obviously we'll be watching that very closely over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and you know, the housing market conditions are expected to improve, but you say that there still needs to be some policy issues that need to be addressed. So
yeah, I think definitely on the supply side. Otherwise, we're going to get back into that sort of vicious circle of, you know, flatlining price, and then it really starts to spike upwards again because, you know, there's not a lot of homes for people to choose from and more people looking to buy.
Yeah, okay. Doesn't seem like there's a perfect time to really buy or sell. You just got to deal with what you have. Okay, Jason Mercer, Chief Market Analyst with TREB. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank
Great to have you in the
Appreciate
studio again.
You bet.